I'm Megan Law, and today we'll be exploring sports programs' effects on academics, a current event commentary.
In this project, we will explore the current viewpoints surrounding sports programs' effects on academics. We will start with a short clip of a principal's opinion on sports and academics, and how the past summer's Olympics relate to these sports programs in schools. We will then go into two supporting ideas of sports programs in schools and how they connect to the text we've been reading. Then we will go into two opposing ideas and also their connections to the text as well. Lastly, we will conclude what we have learned and ask ourselves what we agree with.
The next video will be a current event news video, which will show a look into sports programs in schools with the Olympics having been this past summer.
Principal of the St. Joseph's Convent, Sister Rufina Donat, says the school marks with great pride the achievements of its past students, Janelle Shaper and Stephanie Lovell Duveau, who represented St. Lucia at the 2016 Rio Olympics in women's high jump and sailing respectively. While the two athletes did not make it to the finals of the games, they both gave a good account of themselves. Sister Donat says it is important to highlight every sporting success so as to inspire the younger generation to dream big and to build on the successes of those who came before them. She says at SJC, Olympic dreams are being nurtured.
We are very proud of them. We are elated. It is motivation. It is incentive for our young athletes. We have a number of young athletes coming from SJC right now. You have Mokiba Alcide, you have Rochelle. So there are a number of them evolving, and it is a way to motivate them, to get them, and for them to see that the academics and the sports can go hand in hand. It is a balance, and there are many opportunities provided for them through the sports if they take it seriously.
Sister Donat says for many parents there is a misperception that sports takes away from academics, but she says the two go hand in hand. She says student athletes display many attributes that prepare them for overall success in life.
The discipline of training is important, very, very important to get our students to where they want to be. So it's not a matter of just praising a child now because she got a gold medal somewhere, but what it is about the continuity of the sports, if the child has the aptitude for it, and where we as school and parents can work together to bring them this far.
The St. Joseph's Convent boasts a very robust sports program and recently, in July, held its annual sports awards. The girls at the school also consistently perform at exemplary levels in academics. This year, the school attained a 98.61% pass rate at CXC examinations. Lovely St. Amy Joseph, NBC News.
In the next video, we will analyze what we have learned from Sister Rufina Donat.
Sister Rufina Donat, the principal of a leading school, says that she supports sports programs in schools. The Rio Olympics have inspired the younger generation to dream big and build on successes of those who came before them. Academics and sports can go hand in hand. Sports provide students with many opportunities, but there are some misperceptions from parents that sports take away from academics. But many athletes display attributes of overall success in life. She also says that the discipline of training provided through sports is very important. Rufina Donat says that there is a correlation between great sports program and high success in athletes.
The next video will be an introduction into the opposing and supporting arguments.
This is an introduction on two supporting and opposing sides to sports programs' effects on academics. A study by Anne Rosewater believes that sports programs have a positive effect on academics. She writes in the Educational Digest that children and youth who participate in organized sports are higher achievers in terms of grades and dropout rates, as well as related measures of academic achievement, such as homework completion and educational aspirations. In contrast to that article, an article written by Robert Thomas Jr. believes that sports programs do not go hand in hand with academics. Instead, they have a negative effect. Robert says that although participating in high school athletics tends to keep student athletes in school, It leads to them participating in other extracurricular activities and makes them feel more popular than non-athletes. But it has virtually no immediate effect on academic achievement for most students, and it has even less impact on their later success in college and the workforce. In this project, we will compare and contrast these opposing viewpoints on the positive and negative effects of sports programs on academics.
Supporting point 1 says that sports programs offer positive effects on psychological well-being and motivation, which allows for greater academic achievement.
A study by Child's Trends database has found that participating in sports is associated with higher levels of self-esteem, motivation, and overall psychological well-being, and better body image for girls. A study in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence stated that organized sports have coaches or adult leaders who give specific and repeated positive feedback that is instrumental for internalizing the connection between one's actions and outcomes in sports. Coaches play a key role in shaping the motivational climate of organized sports. Kevin Bliss wrote on livestrong.com that for some students, sports can provide more motivation for improved academic performance. Tom Walter, Executive Director of the Oregon School Activities Association, concedes that not all athletes are natural students. However, the grade requirements to stay eligible and play the sport that they love drives them to overcome obstacles in the classroom and improve academic performance, establishing a work ethic that can serve them well for as long as they remain in academic setting. The Aspen Institute summarizes these ideas when they say that, at its best, sports offered physical, social, emotional, and cognitive benefits. These trends and data have found that sports allow for increased psychological well-being and motivation, which has allowed for better performance in the classroom.
Supporting point 2 says that sports participation showed trends of reducing dropout rates and discipline referrals.
The American Educational Research Journal did a study on the effects of extracurricular participation during middle school on academic motivation and achievement. Their findings suggest the potential impact of extracurricular activities, including sports participation in middle school, is reducing dropout rates. The Child Trends Databank also found that participation in athletics has a positive association with academic achievement. Studies have shown that high school athletes have higher grades than non-athletes, lower absentee levels, a significantly smaller percentage of discipline referrals, lower percentage of dropouts, and higher graduation rates.
Now we will look into the supporting point connections to the text, child and adolescent development.
Sports have been found to have many positive effects on childhood development. In the textbook, it says that participation in sports has been linked to increased self-confidence and self-esteem. Sports are also used to ignite high levels of passion to avoid risky behaviors in adolescence.
Opposing point 1 says that grades are suffering from sports participation because students are missing too much school.
Randy Omer Miller found that students were struggling academically while participating in sports because of the amount of instruction they were missing because of these sports. He wrote, "One thing that we don't realize is how sports can affect our students in a negative way. RBHS dismisses student athletes early from class. Sometimes it takes more than a week to catch up on their homework." Laura Altobelli also wrote that time management factors were a significant source of academic-related stress. Many student athletes expressed concern over having insufficient time to study, for exams, and to write term papers. Team travel was also cited as a stress factor because of missed classes and assignments.
Opposing point 2 says, data suggests that sports participation has no effects on academics. The next video, we will explore this opposing argument.
Fisher, Jasak, and Friedman found no relationship between sports involvement and academic performance among a sample of urban and mostly minority high school students. In another study done by Yin and Moore, using the National Educational Longitudinal Study, concluded that 8th graders who participated on sports team had lower cognitive test scores compared to those students who did not participate on sports teams.
Now we will explore the opposing point connections to the textbook, Child and Adolescent Development by Anita Woolfolk and Nancy Perry.
The Child and Adolescent Development book talks about where the focus on sports should be. It says, the focus on participation in sports and other physical activities should be on developing physical skills, maintaining health and fitness. This does not speak about focusing on improving academics, because this is not the aim for school sports, the book says. In the textbook, it also talks about how the amount of physical activity in school is declining so that teachers can put more time into teaching for standardized testing. This relates to the data that suggests that sports participation in schools is having no effect on academics.
The last video will be a conclusion on all the research we have done on sports programs' effects on academics.
In conclusion, we have found various studies that have explored the multiple positive and negative effects on sports programs' effects on academics. Take a few moments to decide if you agree with Sister Rufina Donat, who says that sports programs and academics go hand in hand, or if you agree with Robert Thomas Jr., who has found that sports programs have no effect on academics, and even sometimes have negative effects. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.